Elon Musk is not happy about India, and if you were Elon Musk, you wouldn't be happy about India either. Let's back up a little bit. Recently, Elon Musk has announced incredible news on SpaceX's broadband internet system's latest achievement. He posted a tweet that said, "Starlink approved by the Philippines." However, his response to a concern raised by one of his followers shows that the billionaire is unhappy about Tesla's inability to enter the Indian EV market. Did you know what happened between Tesla and the Indian government recently? Let us summarize everything for you. When Musk officially announced the news, he got responses and congratulatory messages from his followers and other users. Amongst them were Twitter users who were curious to know if Musk had made any progress in their country. A guy who seemed to be from India wrote, "Elon, any update on Starlink approval usage in India? Starlink's vision to provide cheap and fast internet connections worldwide is incredible. Starlink in India would be an absolute hit." Musk replied to him, "We are waiting for government approval." This goes to say that arrangements are being made and there is hope for India to eventually benefit from SpaceX's broadband internet system. Starlink, a low Earth orbit satellite system meant to deliver broadband services to rural places, is planned to provide low-latency satellite internet across the nation ranging from 100 to 200 megabits per second. Recently, the National Telecommunications Commission of Philippines accepted the registration of Starlink Internet Services Philippines, enabling the satellite internet provider to begin operating there. So why is the Philippines getting huge investments and technologies from Tesla while India isn't? The Philippines is the first Southeast Asian country to have Starlink broadband service. Starlink is expected to reach communities in urban and suburban regions and rural areas that are currently unserved or underserved with internet access services. The service is expected to provide low-cost internet access in these communities, allowing people in remote areas to enjoy low-latency internet services such as live streaming, video calls, online gaming, and other high-data activities that were previously difficult or completely impossible with regular satellite internet services. SpaceX Council complimented the NTC for its quick response, saying that Starlink's value-added service license was awarded 30 minutes after their registration and all the criteria and necessary documents were submitted and met. This demonstrates the government's commitment to meeting the country's connectivity requirements in unserved and neglected regions. We expect more news from Musk as more countries get approved. Now coming back to the Twitter conversation, another Indian user responded by asking, "What about Tesla? Is Tesla manufacturing a plant in India in the future?" Musk sounded a bit frustrated in his response to this user's question. Tesla will not put a manufacturing plant in any location where we are not allowed first to sell and service cars. Before now, Musk lamented India's restrictive rules, writing that although Tesla wished to build vehicles there, their import tariffs are by far the highest in the world of any powerful nation. Clean energy cars were treated the same as diesel or gasoline, he noted. His concern was quickly supported by Hyundai Motor, stating that lowering tariffs on electric car imports would assist in achieving some economies of scale in this extremely pricey, competitive category. And while Musk noted that he is hopeful for any temporary tariff relief, he is right. India's extremely protectionist stance remains a significant obstacle for international companies. Unlike many other areas of the globe where governments are adopting EV regulations to achieve emissions targets, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration has been laser-focused on its Make in India program, an attempt to get India's industrial manufacturing sector up and running. Tesla's also been unable to join the Indian automobile market for the longest time due to a dispute with the local authorities. The manufacturer refuses to commit to constructing a plant in India before testing the market with cars imported from China, despite the government's stated preference that the vehicles be made domestically. This has supposedly been the case for over a year now. Tesla's entrance into the nation has been stalled since 2019, when India imposed a 60% import charge on EVs priced at $40,000 or less. On EVs costing more than $40,000, the import duty is 100%. Needing a commitment from the company is the primary reason the local authorities are unwilling to provide the automaker with any tax breaks. They want the company to be committed to establishing a manufacturing plant in country. The Indian government is enthusiastic about EVs and has been implementing several incentives to boost manufacturing and demand for electric cars. Apparently, India wants Tesla to invest in the nation, besides just sell its undoubtedly extremely popular EVs without benefiting from it. If Tesla builds a manufacturing facility in India, it will generate employment, bring technology into the nation, and develop local supply chains, which will be better for the local economy. Tesla is a firm believer that its cars will sell in India, but this notwithstanding, it seems that it will have to do it on India's terms. With the hefty import duties and local authorities' refusal to allow Tesla to import China-made vehicles, the company doesn't seem to have any options. Musk has tried to explain to the local authorities that it's not only about having the right components and opening a factory. The accuracy and quality of the manufacturing are also important. Building a massive car industry is not the same as constructing a high-quality local one, as China knows it all too well. Unfocused subsidies and plans impeded state planners' years-long battle to develop the most significant automobiles in the world. Were assumed that coming from Musk, who endured his own production hell to produce 5,000 Model 3 sedans at Tesla's Fremont, California factory, it should be accepted. India also lacks the necessary capacity to produce on a large scale. As a result, the country has failed to become a significant exporter of high-quality automobiles to global market, despite having the potential. Most foreign manufacturers have struggled to establish a presence there due to punitive requirements for local content, resulting in substantial investments with little returns. The government of India is all about decarbonizing transportation and electrification. As a part of their plan, some rules and incentives will be put in place to boost productivity throughout the supply chain. The government has set a 30% EV penetration target by 2030, up from less than 10% currently. Individual states have also implemented their own green policies and targets. Those have been introduced to increase demand. However, it doesn't come across as a reasonable promise. It neither inspires Indian customers to drive these cars nor Indian automakers to actually build them. Because a typical family earnings are modest, motorcycles and scooters and three-wheeled rickshaws dominate the entire market. Most traditional versions range in price from 40,000 rupees, $537 to more than 200,000 rupees. Electric models, of which just a dozen or so are available, start at 100,000 rupees. Now, here is the thing. Allowing reduced tariff imports from China, a growing market for two-wheelers, would provide customers with increased competition, more options, and reduced costs. So, if India ever decides to execute a top-down industrial strategy like it has been done in China, there will be less work. They should be ready to open up to international makers for starters. As success grows, they will be more agile. To be honest, Tesla's sales to China began to account for a significant amount of income even before the company began manufacturing there in 2017. While this was partly due to comparatively low import tax rates of 25% at the time, it also reflected Beijing's aim to expand the market. At that time, the government's attitude aided the adoption of electric vehicles, bolstering the whole supply chain. Beijing had its own burgeoning electric champions when it was time to let foreign automakers in. Tesla's already shipping vehicles to Europe from its Shanghai manufacturing plant. We are pointing this out because India needs its own comprehensive strategy that includes infrastructure, auto components, and consumer incentives for electric and hybrid vehicles. So much more can be done, such as battery production for smaller cars, constructing more switching stations to alleviate drivers' concerns about how long they can travel, or providing larger and wider incentives to vehicle buyers in a highly competitive market. Battery recycling might also help cut costs and increase durability. However, it all depends on the authorities, and Musk doesn't have the legal capacity to take the Indian market by force. The good news is that the country is beginning to see the reason and come around. Last year, Tesla launched a subsidiary in India and established an office in Bengaluru, Karnataka. According to news updates on Indian Express, its Indian division started accepting deposits last year. Customers who paid the $1,000 deposit are upset that they would be unable to complete the purchase under present circumstances. Some have allegedly even requested refunds. However, soon after this reaction, the southern Indian state of Karnataka announced that Tesla would be building an electric vehicle production operation there. The two have come to a standstill, so we keep our fingers crossed to see what happens next. Do you see Tesla officially entering the Indian EV market anytime soon? Or should Musk pick any other neighboring country around it? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.